Untitled is on live. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, well, too late now. We are officially live on this beautiful Thursday afternoon from Loganville, Georgia, and from somewhere in the Midwest, those flyover states. Steve hides in a little bunker underneath the sands. Trust me, it's true. He's hiding. We don't tell him where. We don't tell you where, but he's there. He's Steve. What's going on, Steve?
Oh, not too much.
All right. Well, today we're going to be talking about something very interesting. So you better get ready. Ready to rumble.
Okay.
We don't have Michael Buffer here, but we're going to do it anyway. There's no boxing involved in this, unless we want to box, but tough to hit each other.
Yeah.
All right. Let's just jump right into it. Here we go. Ready in 5, 4, 3. On today's episode of Video Marketing Madness, we're going to get ready to rumble. And we'll talk about what that means in just a minute. But if you're here right now, it's because you love video, and that's why you need to pay attention to our particular form of video, and that is with Movo products, making sure your videos look beautiful. If you need a nice microphone, they've got it. If you need a microphone for your podcasting, you've got that too. If you need a stand for your phone, if you need something to stabilize your phone, if you need anything to turn your phone into a video studio, well, Movo's got it for you. And for you professionals out there that have big fancy cameras, well, they've got audio products and stands for those too. So check it out. Head on over to raiselinks.com/Movo and see what they can do to help you make even better video. And with that, Steve, should we hit the music?
Hit it, Ray.
Here it comes.
He's Ray the video guy, yeah, Ray the video guy. His skill is where it's at, even if he's a little fat. He's filled with video expertise and has so much knowledge that you need. His YouTube ninja tricks can make your marketing so sick. He's Ray the video guy, yeah, Ray the video guy.
And it's the radio show about video marketing madness with Ray the video guy. And I'm Steve Sleeper, and my YouTube channel, check it out, is Steve Sleeper Trains. So
Yes,
what's
it
up
is.
with you, Ray?
Well, you
Ray
know,
the
I'm
man.
just excited. It's a beautiful day. We get to listen to the Ray the Video Guy song. Not many people know it. Written by John, not a cougar, Mellencamp. And I bet you didn't know that. It was sung by John Mellencamp.
Yeah, right.
Just kidding. It is a little fruity, but it ain't John Mellencamp, unfortunately. But it is a beautiful day to listen to great music like that. In fact, as I put on Facebook earlier, it is such a lovely day that it reminded me that I really would like to just get a Dell's Lemonade, listen to some John Cafferty, and have a great afternoon. And if you're not from Rhode Island, you may not get all those references. But if you're from Rhode Island, you know what I'm talking about. And I don't know. We'll see how many Rhode Islanders are in here. Maybe Ken's in here. Ken, are you in here? If so, that's for you. Play your guitar and sing some On the Dark Side, and, we'll have some fun. All right, so with that, Steve, what's going on in your part of the world?
Oh, not a whole lot. Working on Steve Sleeper Trains, my YouTube channel.
We're going to start a bingo game every time he says that, or one of those drinking games. All right, say that again, Steve.
Steve Sleeper Trains is my YouTube channel. Check it out.
I'm hitting the hard stuff today, too. I'm doing, this is
can
like
see
regular
that.
Pepsi. This is not any of my funky, weird, non-colored, non-sugared drinks that I usually have to have. Yeah.
I remember a number of years ago, I mean within the last 20 years, Pepsi released a limited edition Pepsi with real sugar in the glass bottles, and we went out and bought it up. It was great.
Coke was doing the same thing because actually, believe it or not, down in Mexico, that's how they still serve it, is with regular cane sugar. So
I'll be darned. Yeah, when I was a kid, my favorite soft drink was Pepsi. Kids like it because it tastes sweeter than Coke, you know. So.
Yeah, I've always preferred Pepsi over Coke.
Have you?
And people say, you can't tell the difference, but I can tell the difference.
I can tell the difference.
We even did some of those taste tests the one day, and people didn't believe that I could taste the difference between these things. And they had Coke, Coke Zero, and Diet Coke, and I was like, Coke, Coke Zero, Diet Coke. Very easy to tell the difference, in my opinion.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I agree.
Yeah. But unfortunately, I don't drink many regular Cokes with the sugar and all that because I don't want to get the extra sugar in there. But I do completely stay away from the diet sodas and the Coke Zeros and Pepsi Zero sugars and all that because they use a lot of that aspartame and it's really, really bad for my my foot nerves. So I had to kill that. It's better to drink the fatty sugar drink than the fake stuff. But most of the time, I drink the other fake stuff, which doesn't have aspartame in it either. So it's safe. And mostly now I drink probably 90% is just water.
That's the best thing for you.
It
Hey,
is. It definitely is.
I do have some results to talk about with this little Google business profile thing, and I won't take more than a minute or so, a minute or 10 hours.
Okay.
You and I were talking about a mutual client of ours, Joey Frank's Big Man Law, and I was
Yes,
asking
the big man
you-
himself.
the big man himself, and I was asking you about the Google ads you placed and where it's going and all that kind of stuff. And the reason I was asking is I was able to kind of attach back to all this what kind of results I'm getting for him with his Google business profile. And long story short, and I won't get into how I arrived at that, but I was able to give him a 325% increase in interactions.
Nice.
Yeah, and that's essentially by moving it up to the 3-pack, and then I got him on page 1 of the 3-pack. And then I have a lawn care service in, and these are just 2 of them. They're the easiest ones to talk about. I got a lawn care service in Ogden, Utah, and their Google business profile was number 23. You know, when you click on the more businesses and then you can
Yep.
count them, it was in the 23rd position. It's now in the 2nd position and in the 3-pack.
Beautiful. Yeah, I got a couple of clients, some of which I'm not doing their Google business profile stuff. Hopefully at some point they'll let me. But I do have a couple that I am, at least unofficially, controlling that now, and they're in the same position. They're in like 23, 32, 27, depending on the keyword. So I need to work on them, and so maybe I'll steal some knowledge from you and see what you're doing.
Oh, sure. No, I'd be happy to share that. I'm not in the habit of sharing it with other people, but I'd share it with you. I mean,
All
there's.
right. Well, I'll share something with you. Now, this is something I think we've kind of briefly talked about this in the past too. And by the way, were you done with your story? I didn't want to interrupt.
Yeah.
All right,
no, that's-
good. So YouTube, going back to that, I've got this one client that I've been experimenting very heavily with on some new things, some of which we've talked about on the show, and along with a bunch of other things that we're doing. And I feel like I've kind of cracked the code. You know, back in the old days, we used to crack the code on YouTube all the time, and it was all sorts of gray hat, black hat, crazy things. That worked really, really well until YouTube caught on and then cut it off. Well, this time we're doing things that are absolutely 100% above board, perfectly legal. In fact, it's so legitimate that you can monetize with it, and there's no problem. And speaking of that, with this client, what's exciting, and if you've been on the Ray the Video Guy Facebook group, the online video marketers group, I've been posting some videos and some screenshots there. But these guys, I'm basically hired to do 1 video per week for them. That's really what I've been hired to do, is to produce 1 video per week for them. They send me the video, I put it all together, I put it on YouTube, optimize it. But I've been putting a lot of extra time into their YouTube channel, much to my own sadness, because it doesn't really benefit me in any way to do this, other than probably keeps them on board, which is great. But we started with them last February, at the end of February, so beginning of March. Actually, no, we might have started beginning of... Anyway, it was about a year ago, a little over a year ago. And when we started, they had nothing. They had some videos on there. They had a bunch of videos on there, but they, 5 views, 10 views, nothing going on there. They didn't have any subscribers yet, really. They didn't have anything. And I told them, I said, well, we'll get you monetized. We'll get you to the point where you monetize. It's going to require 1,000 subscribers. It's going to be 4,000 hours of watch time. But it's going to take 6 months to get there. Well, we got there in about 4. It took about 4, and we actually got there. So I was pretty happy with that because it's very organic. Nothing, not doing we were really trying to do this in a way that was their actual fan base. So we're not going to get just a bunch of people from Russia to like it so that it gets there faster. We wanted to really keep it on the straight and narrow, so it did. It took about 4 months to do that. And since then, as they've grown, they've been making some money from ad revenue. That's not their point of doing YouTube. Their point of doing YouTube is to get people to their website and to buy their products. That's where they really monetize it. But, anything they make off of that is just extra money, fill the gas tank a few times. And they were starting to get to where they were hitting like $150 to $200 each month, which, it's a nice little beginning for them. Mm-hmm. Well, Steve, after last month reaching $195 or something like that, that's what they got in February. We're in March now. Today it is March 23rd, which means we still have one more week to go in March. Guess what they've made in ad revenue this month after last month being $200?
No, I don't know. $1,000.
$2,500 so far.
Wow, cool.
And they've gone from, in fact, it's funny because in their video we have a little thing that pops up that shows the number of subscribers they have, and it says, please subscribe. And we keep updating that as we do the graphic each week on the video. And about 2 weeks ago, we made that video, and it said 5,000 subscribers. We just hit 5,000 subscribers. We're really excited about this. Well, that was when I started to do all the stuff that's now brought in all this extra revenue, tons and tons of extra views. By the end of that week, so that was just like, well, not even the end of the week. That was on Monday. I put it there. They look at it. They do revisions. By Thursday, we were putting that video back up. By Thursday, we had to change that. As I was making the last little changes, I changed that to 7,000. Okay?
Wow.
Guess what they're at as of today?
I don't know.
20,000.
Wow.
They have gone from 5,000 to 20,000 in the last 2 weeks.
Dang.
And they've gone from $200 to $2,500 in ad revenue. Their views are off the charts compared to what they were. And even though you could see back in February when we took over how, if you look at the thing, it ramps way up. That looks like nothing now. When you look at, if you look at the whole year, that looks like there's no bump there because this bump now is so huge and it's absolutely taking off like a rocket ship. And we've been testing that with some other channels now, and we're seeing the exact same thing. We took another brand new channel that had hardly any views at all, really no subscribers or anything. We were just kind of throwing videos on there and saying, at some point in time, we'll do something with this. Just put them on there so that we at least have them. And we started optimizing them and doing all the different things and working the system that we've been working on. They now are on their, well, it's my channel too. I'm part owner of that whole thing. We're on the way to getting monetized probably in the next couple of weeks. And we've gone from each video having 2 to 3 views to hundreds or even thousands of views, with one of them having 30,000 views right now. And their subscribers are over 1,200 now. I mean, it's just taken off. We're starting to do that with a couple of others to see how that does. But so far, every one that we've messed with and started doing this has absolutely taken off. So I'm very excited. We'll talk more about that in a couple of weeks when we see if this really, holds fast and keeps going. Because who knows? Maybe next week all of a sudden it'll all plummet and it'll die and we won't know. But so far, and nothing we're doing is sketchy in any way, shape, or form. So there should not be any issues with this. But we're going to start to blow it up. In fact, I don't want to say resurrecting because it was never dead, but my YouTube channel, which is the, very neglected, now that I've seen what we've done here, I'm getting back into that to really start pushing my own channel again. So we're going to be doing a lot more, even though we put new content on there all the time. Most of the time it's like webinar replays or quick videos to do here. I'm going to be a lot more scheduled and a lot more, very specific about what we're doing, because I want to see if we can do the same thing on that one, because that one's already monetized. So now we can just take that to the next level, and we want to get up there too. So we'll see how that goes. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're seeing a lot of results, but it's very, very cool stuff.
Famefuel.co, is that what you're using?
Well, that's one of many things that we're doing, but don't give away any secrets. Come on.
It's not working for Steve Sleeper Trains.
Well, you're not doing things right, bud.
Yeah, I am.
Nah, you ain't.
It's so niche. I think what they're doing, and they're replying to me, but I ran views for the month, and my average viewing time is 2 minutes, and I was getting 2 minutes on this video, it plummeted to like 20 seconds.
Yeah,
And
sounds to me like you're not getting it in front of the real correct audience is the problem.
no,
there.
no, and that's the difficulty with
Yeah.
with rail fanning, is that if you do trains, it can be anything. It can be training
Right.
videos for Union Pacific employees, and so I did I put in a ticket and I said, I did buy the get monetized thing. And by the way, all this is above board. And I just said, you're never going to get there. You're never going to get there with that. And they're looking at it and to see what they can do. Let me ask you this: when they target something, like for instance with the foot doctor, how do you know how they're targeting that? When it's recommended videos, I understand that, but is it is it neuropathy? Is it?
Yeah, it's a lot of that because that's their main thing is neuropathy and whatnot. So this probably a little broader than that, but most of the time that's what it is. And if you look, what's great about this is because, again, there's plenty of people that have come along and said, hey, we can get you to this and we can get you to do that and blah, blah, blah. And then you look and it's like 800,000 views from Russia or
right,
Malaysia or something.
Yeah.
And when we look at this is what I keep showing people when I'm talking about this stuff is, if you look at who's watching their videos, it's U.S. and other English-speaking countries, and it's people, and it shows, because in YouTube you can see what people that watch your videos, what else do they watch? You can look at that. And it'll show you, it shows, they were watching so-and-so's neuropathy video. They were watching a video about, nerves, and it's all those people. It's the absolute most targeted audience. And even if you look at it, their audience is a much older audience, that they want to sell to. And if you look at the YouTube stats, that's who's watching it is people 45 and up, and then the 55 and up is way up, and then the 65 and up is their biggest audience. That's who we want to hit, and it's absolutely hitting them. That's an audience you don't usually target, you know what I mean? So when they're getting that audience, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful thing.
Well,
If you've got something that appeals to, 25 to 50-year-olds, that's everything. So most of the time, whatever you put on there, that's going to be by default your biggest audience. But the fact that we're targeting that audience and that's what we're getting, and we're not really, we've run some ads here and there, but we're not doing ads right now or anything either. So it's not like we're saying target this audience. We are targeting the audience in a very different way. We're not paying for ads, but we are doing a lot of other things, and it's working very, very well so far.
Well, and again, mine may be just that one niche where the targeted keywords are too broad. And if you look, the two main keywords are trains and railfan. Railfan is dominated by virtual railfan. You can't break into that, and maybe that's what.
Yeah, but that's what you need. That's what you.
Yeah,
want.
and I'm thinking out loud here, and I'm thinking maybe that's what I need to get back to him on. Trains is so broad. I mean, you could have
could be toy trains, could be
toy trains for 3-year-olds, training videos for Union
Thomas the
Pacific
Tank
employees. I mean, who knows what? Now, what I have found is that I'm probably averaging 100 views a video. I get very long watch times, and
that's unusual, so that's good. And
Yeah.
by the way, that's the other thing I should mention. These guys are getting average view times of like 4 or 5, sometimes 8 minutes on a video.
Oh, I
That's
don't
crazy.
I don't doubt what you're saying. I'm
That's
just saying
crazy.
We've had some issues with the trains. It's going to be interesting to see how they deal with it. That could be a case study. But oh God, what was I going to say? It's just very broad. Oh, I know. My views, I'm getting very long watch times, but half of them are coming from suggested videos, about half of them, and then the other half are coming from subscribers. So it'd be interesting to see how YouTube has picked up on the suggested videos and who they're putting that in front of, because the watch times are good, So this is kind of weird. And
There's some interesting ways to get on that. It's very interesting the way that can work.
Yeah, yeah. Do you know what they
Some
are?
secret ways that people. There are some secret ways, Steve, that are hidden inside of YouTube. I'll
Yeah.
just say that for now.
What are they? You want to tell me?
Maybe
You ever
maybe
going
off
to tell
air.
me?
Maybe off,
Off
air.
air. All right. Okay. Okay.
We'll discuss that. Yeah.
But you know what? Good for you. Good
Thank
for
you.
Ray.
Thank
It's
you. Thank you.
It's the Ray decade.
That's right. That's right. The
Okay,
2020s,
Rumble.
man.
Rumble.
All right, so let's get
I'm
to
ready.
the main event.
Wait a
Are
minute.
you-
Wait a minute.
Wait.
I'm ready. I'm ready to rumble.
Are you sure?
I'm ready to run. I can't do that because I'd
Okay.
yell too
Here
loud.
it comes. Are you ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
And now, for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching from around the world, let's get ready to rumble!
Oh, that was pathetic.
What? Oh, that was beautiful. Should I do it again? Do it again. Maybe I should do it again. Maybe get closer to the microphone and do it?
No.
No? Okay. All right, here we go. We're getting ready to rumble. So what the heck are we talking about ready to rumble? Well, for those of you who don't know, YouTube has been, obviously with the talk that we just had, a very favorite website of ours. But there has always been other video sites, places to put your videos that you could also use. And in the past, that's been Meta Cafe and Daily Motion and to an extent Vimeo. Vimeo's kind of a special case there. But a lot of those sites have come and gone. Gosh, I don't even know what's around. What was it? Mr. Wong was one of them for a while, and there was a bunch of them. And of course, more recently, the shorter stuff with the rise of TikTok and things like that. Vine back in the day. Well, there's a new player in the field, and quite honestly, I don't want to say I ignored it, but wasn't paying close attention to it because it was new and it's like, yeah, it's probably going to be gone. There was another one, Steve, probably about 2 years ago, and it came and it was popular enough that on TV people would be like, follow us on, and it came and went so fast. I can't even remember the name of this particular video site that came out.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was trying to remember. I can't remember what it was called, and I tried to figure it out and I couldn't figure it out online. But it was a popular video sharing place, and it was like, for a very short period of time, it was popular, but not really. It never took off. Well, this one looks like it's really taking off. It's called Rumble. So if you want to check it out, just search Rumble. You'll be able to find that right away. And right now, it's kind of it's kind of the YouTube cast-off network is what it really is at this point in time. There's a lot of gaming going on there, so there's a lot of video game stuff that's going on in there. But there's a lot of political stuff that YouTube, kind of quashes all the political talk, or they demonetize people that do political stuff. So a lot of the political stuff has moved over to there, but also a lot of sports has moved over to there. Dana White, the president of the UFC, has started his. I don't know if you've seen this yet, Steve. The slap show, where the different weight classes, they have to stand and they slap each other and see who gets knocked out first. And Rumble is now the official home for that show. And they did one of their live events, and it was, I don't know if it was the biggest, but I know they said it was one of the biggest live streams in the history of the planet, coming out of Rumble. And this is the official home for it. Also, the comedian and conservative commentator Steven Crowther, who is very popular on YouTube, he got demonetized because everybody seems to there. He's now moved over there, and he's making millions and millions of dollars just for going over there. They're actually paying him to join their thing, and he's doing in the millions on his videos already with this platform. It's not a brand new platform, but it's new, and it's kind of just been there, but now it's really starting to become a big deal. And we've started to not move our stuff there, but to add our stuff there. So we're going to be taking that very seriously. And it's another outlet that I think everybody should at least look at. I was talking to some people this morning, and someone's like, "Oh yeah, that's what I want to see is put my stuff with a bunch of conspiracy theories and video games." Well, and I thought about that, and I'm like, well, even if it was a lot of that, who cares? Just because, I'm on YouTube, and there's a lot of wackiness on YouTube that I probably don't want to be associated with on there, but I don't abandon YouTube because that other stuff is there. I just do my thing. And you could do the same thing over there. And this is the opportunity to possibly become a big fish in a small pond. And then hopefully when the pond gets bigger, you get fed. And that's what I'm kind of hoping with this. So I'm actually moving. I've moved a lot of my stuff. Well, not a lot yet. I've started to move my stuff into Rumble. And I'm going to be moving some of our other stuff into Rumble. And it works very similar to YouTube. You can optimize your videos the same way. So you can put in a big, long description. You can optimize your title. You can do all of that fun stuff. And it makes for a very, very good place to put your videos. And, we'll see. I mean, will I get 1 view or 1 million views? I have no idea. We're going to find out. We're going to put the stuff on there. We're going to see how it works. I'm going to take our real estate stuff. That's going to be going on there. And inside there, you can make multiple channels. In fact, to be perfectly honest, it's a lot easier to set up an account and to make channels underneath your account than it is on YouTube, to be perfectly honest. But, do they have the grand audience? YouTube has, 2 billion per month users? I doubt they have that many. With some of the people they brought on with Power Slap and with the Steven Crowder show and other things that they're bringing in, they're going to get a big audience pretty quickly. So,
Power Slap.
Power Slap.
It
You got to
sounds
watch
like
it. You got to see it to believe it.
It sounds like a Monty Python routine, but
It does, and it's a concussion factory is what it is.
Well, here's one. Post-fight press conference, Power Slap 1 finale, 196,000 views. Power Slap 1 live finale, 3.16 million views. So
On a platform that is pretty much brand new for the most part.
And by the way, it's rumble.com. Couldn't get it
Yes,
easier.
rumble.com. And, it's like I said, it's very easy to use. It's very easy to set up. And here's the big part. This is the reason people are moving there right now. Guess what the requirements are for you to monetize your content, Steve?
4,000 hours, 1,000 subscribers.
Oh, you are off by 4,000 and 1,000. You could be monetized today. You could be monetized today. You go there and you turn on monetization. Why YouTube doesn't do this, I'll never understand. But you can be monetized today. Now, will that change in the future for reasons we don't know about? Who knows? But I'm already monetized. You just go in there and you tell them you want it monetized. Am I making money? Well, not yet. We'll see. I've only started to just touch my toes into the water there. But I can see myself being a big fish in that small pond at some point in time. And the other cool thing about it is it works on feeds very similar to like a TikTok or even a Twitter or whatnot. So when I put my stuff in there, it's going to show up at the top. It's not going to be like with YouTube. You might put a video in there and who knows if anybody's going to see it naturally, just scrolling around. You don't know if they're going to. This, you can guarantee, you put it in there, it's going to show up in there in the feeds. And hopefully people will start to see it from that. And I've got some tracking going on there to kind of see what happens. Are people going to use the tracking links and buy products? And so if we start to see some of that, we'll know whether it works or not. Now, again, maybe my niche just isn't going to be in there. We don't know. Maybe it'll be 3 years from now before that audience shows up there to really see my kind of stuff. Who knows? We're going to find out. But we got to push it, and we got to get people there to watch it. And so I'll be, trying my best to get people to pay attention to it. But it is a very cool little platform. It's got a lot of potential, and it's got an embeddable player that doesn't have 742 different things to click on that'll take you off of your page. So you could actually use that one with pretty good confidence. If you ever use the YouTube embedded player, it's got a link to YouTube here and a link to YouTube here and a link to your video on YouTube here and a link to your competition when you pause the video and all this crazy stuff. Well, you're not going to see that on there, which is good. Again, is that something that'll change over time? Don't know. We'll have to wait and find out. But it is a very, very good platform from what I'm seeing so far. Does it have the audience? Remains to be seen. But what do you think, Steve?
I think that's cool. I may test it. I don't know. Gosh, trains are so niche,
Yeah, I don't know if trains would be the right niche on there.
Yeah,
yet.
Probably not. I need to. One of the things I was thinking about doing, I don't know how serious I am about this, but the Bushman videos. Have you seen those?
I have not.
There's people in. Well, this all started back in San Francisco probably 30 years ago, Bushman, and he would do some clippings off a bush and then hold them and hide behind him, and as people walk by, he'd jump up and scare them. You know, and
Okay.
it was kind of funny to watch. Well, now
I think that's based off of a Japanese game show, actually.
is it okay? So now forward to the present day, and these guys dress up as bushes. You know, they make these costumes, and they look like a bush. You know, a
Right.
tall, a small tree or something like that. And as people walk by, they step out in front of them, and they scare them, and it gets millions of views on YouTube. And the thing
Not
is,
surprised.
there's a bushman, and it's a different bushman in each community. You know.
Yeah.
And so
Somebody's
there's
going
never
to get
been.
killed one day, though. That's the only thing.
I know. That's the only thing that scares me. But I was thinking about there's a hip part of town here called Benson where all the young people go to be hip, and I could get somebody to be bushman and I could film it and put it on YouTube and.
Well, I mean, our biggest video that we've put out from here at the escape room had 42 million views, and it was just us doing the same thing, scaring somebody, a group of people, and they all jumped on a bed together and huddled up, and
That's
got
right.
42 million views.
And I love those. I mean, you're scaring people in the escape room, pounding on the door or something like
Yep.
that. I think they're hilarious.
And there was a show in Brazil too that kind of did the same thing, and there's a famous one where I think this one was the Brazilian one, where the people get into the elevator and the lights start flickering and they go out for a second. And when the lights go out, a creepy girl comes out of the wall.
Yeah,
and when they come back on, she's like crawling across the thing and freaking people out.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of fun stuff like that.
Yeah, I've
There's
seen
the killer
that one,
clown
too.
ones.
The killer clown ones, yeah.
So there's a lot of that. Yeah, people love that kind of thing. There's shows on like MTV that do that kind of thing as well, where they try to scare people and see how they'll react. In fact, the kid from Stranger Things, he had a show. I don't know if it was on MTV or not. I think it might have been MTV, but where he would scare people. It was called Scare Tactics. The same type of thing.
Okay. Now I noticed with Bushman he scares women. He doesn't go after the guys because he probably doesn't want to get punched. You know, I think women are less likely to hit you than guys.
Yep. Yes, indeed. So there's a lot of things out there. Maybe you could start. Maybe they could start a Rumble channel for that.
Yeah, there you go. It's got to probably have a broad appeal or a broader appeal than trains. So,
Well, yeah.
which by the way, my YouTube channel is Steve Sleeper Trains.
Is it really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, did you know that? Hey, who helped bring us this episode?
Well,
of
I'll
Video
tell you who
Marketing
helped to
Madness?
bring us this episode. It was, of course, brought to you by our good friends over at Movo, who have a lot of great things. If you want to hide yourself in a bush and you want to get a good picture taken of it, well, you need to have a camera. And that camera could be your phone, but you may need more than just your phone to look good. And that's where Movo shines, because they've got the iVlog kits. Now, I use the iVlog 4, which has a wraparound metal handle that you can hold onto with two hands. It clips onto your tripod as well, and it's got the shoe on the top to put a microphone and another shoe so you can put a light on it, and you can have a whole rig to yourself. That's the iVlog kit. And of course, they got tons of other things as well, from tripod mounts for your phone to microphones, wired, wireless. In fact, the wireless microphone I've been using, the WMX2, is a tremendous one that I absolutely love. I use it every shoot I go on. In fact, I just shot an ice cream shop yesterday, and I brought that down there. So I had my whole Movo rig with me, and we took a great little video. They absolutely loved it, and I use it, like I said, all the time. When I shoot my stuff here in the studio, I actually do it with my iVlog set up on my tripod with my phone. Why? Because using a phone is so dang easy. It's good, and it's easy. Now, I've got cameras in the closet over here, but they're not easy to use. They're a pain in the neck, and I can't use them when I'm by myself, because you need somebody there to monitor the whole thing and whatnot. So this helps you to be able to take video like a true champion, even if you just got your phone. But they've also got great things, even if you're using professional cameras or DSLRs, microphones, stands, you name it. And, of course, some great desktop microphones for you to do your podcasts with or your voiceovers, including the UMC 700, which is I don't have it in front of me. It's over on the other side of the room, but it's a nice big hefty microphone that has a few different types of pickup patterns you can choose from. You've also got the studio mic that you can get, which is a really nice one. It comes with an arm and everything so that you can put it on there. And we've got the arm here. Whoop. We got the studio mic here. How do you like that, Steve?
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't that sound
pretty
good?
Yeah,
Sounds
yeah,
beautiful
great.
because you could have a studio mic as well. So be sure to check them out by heading on over to raiselinks.com/Movo, and that's MOVO. You'll know when you're there because they've got that lime green color everywhere. That's when you know you're at Movo, when you see lime green.
Lime green everywhere.
Lime green.
Yeah.
Make everybody else
Cool.
green with envy when you've got beautiful Movo products.
Yeah. All right.
All right, and with that, Steve, are we ready to hit the beautiful ending music?
Sure.
All right. Well, so long, folks, and here's your tune.
He's Ray the video guy, yeah, Ray the video guy. His skill is where it's at, even if he's a little fat. He's filled with video expertise and has so much knowledge that you need. His YouTube ninja tricks can make your marketing so sick. He's Ray the video guy, yeah, Ray the video guy.